Good morning. Today is Monday, not Monday, Wednesday, November the 3rd. I told y'all I don't be really into days like that, holidays, none of that. So, reason why I'm on this topic, reason why I'm on this topic, last night or yesterday morning when I woke up, the Most High spoke to me and said, Black Panthers versus KKK. I did that video. I'm gonna have to edit it because my feed got cut last night when I was doing it. But I should do it, y'all willing, later on today or tonight sometime. But the feed got cut while I was doing the live. But this morning he told me missing children in foster care, just as I was waking up. Missing children in foster care. I had no idea. I noticed though when I make sacrifice for the Most High, he gives me different abilities. And when I slack, I can't use them. Let me see. I'm going to try to see, can I find a Bible verse right quick? In the book of Job, I'm going to just tell you, in the book of Job, you can find it where it's talking about a person's instructions, what they are supposed to do is given to them while they are asleep in the book of Job. But let me, maybe if I have time, I'll come back and put that at the end. But let me just.
Tonight, 25 Investigates exposes a nationwide failure in foster care, missing and forgotten kids kicked out of the system.
Investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen first told you yesterday how some children at group homes are exploited by sex traffickers on weekends, but that's only part of the story.
You hear that? Some people in group homes are exploited by sex traffickers. Okay, you ain't heard nothing yet. These agencies, these so-called foster care systems, they are closing the cases of missing children. They are not being held accountable. If children go missing and they're not responsible at the way this system is currently set up, they are not held accountable for finding the missing children. But yet, these devils see fit to take children from families. Think about that one. So when these doggone governmental systems that put these children in foster care, and then the children come up missing, they just close the case and don't find the children. I had no idea this was going on. Again, the Most High told me this.
Exposes a nationwide failure in foster care, missing and forgotten kids kicked out of the system.
Investigative reporter Eric Rasmussen first told you yesterday how some children at group homes are exploited by sex traffickers on weekends, but that's only part of the story.
For the last year, Eric and our team of journalists, they discovered states, including Massachusetts, closed the cases of missing foster kids while they were still unaccounted for.
Mark Vanessa, 25 Investigates, teamed up with sister station WSB in Atlanta and found thousands of foster kids across the country among the missing and forgotten. For years, Massachusetts DCF has been telling the feds it hasn't closed a single case of a foster kid who's missing, but our investigation found otherwise.
In the summer, we might go out and meet like 20, 30, 40 people in just one day.
Amid the fast pace and prosperity of downtown Boston, do you feel like the system let you down?
Yes, very much.
25 Investigates found kids once in the state's care, now on the street.
When I was 14, they just gave me up to DCF because they couldn't handle me.
We met 19-year-old Joanna on the Boston Common, a former foster kid. She says she ran away from a group home right before a suicide attempt landed her in the hospital last year. Did anybody ever track you down and say, Joanna, you got to come back?
No. They did not care. I've never gotten an email from my counselor, my DCF worker.
Joanna says she was missing from the group home less than 2 weeks.
So it was like, look, I really need help. And when I went in, she said, your case is closed.
What was going through your mind when they said they closed your case?
I knew right then I was screwed.
DCF wouldn't comment on Joanna's case, but says it can close any child's case once they turn 18, even if they're missing. Since the year 2000, federal records show child welfare agencies across the country closed the cases of more than 53,000 foster kids listed as runaways, and at least another 61,000 missing. But over the last decade, the same federal data shows Massachusetts and a few other states reported closing 0 cases of foster kids labeled missing or runaway. Researchers, child advocates, and Joanna's own experience suggest those numbers are misleading. Does that make you mad?
It makes me really upset. Policy, what's our policy? What are they doing?
Elizabeth Jackson is the executive director of Bridge Over Troubled Waters in Boston. She says many of the homeless kids helped by her nonprofit come from foster care, and she's calling out the system.
And there are kids out here. And so if you feel like I'm pointing a finger at you, so be it. Come to the table and let's figure it out, because we are seeing kids, and I know you know that we are seeing kids.
Massachusetts DCF reports it unloads more than 800 foster children from the system every year when they turn 18. But the agency told us it does not track how many of those kids were missing at the time they were discharged. In a year-long nationwide investigation, Boston 25 News and our Atlanta sister station, WSB, contacted all 50 states. We uncovered a patchwork of policies, with some able to close a case after a foster child is missing for just a few months, while others must wait until they turn 21. Records show the state of Illinois discharged a missing foster child in 2016 who was just 9 years old. The state now tells us it took the child back into custody a year later. Jackson says no one was looking for a 15-year-old girl missing from foster care in New York when she walked into this office in Boston saying she'd been abandoned by a boyfriend. What do you really think was happening in that situation?
Oh, she was trafficked. She was being put in a prostitution ring, and she didn't even know it.
An unidentified teenage girl shot dead in Atlanta last year turned out to be a missing foster child. When the victim's brother finally saw this facial reconstruction by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, she was identified as 17-year-old Danetta Franks.
It just sucks to know that she was speaking out, crying out for help, that she never got it.
A new federal law now requires all states to report missing foster kids to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children here in the Washington, D.C. area. But even now, the center tells us that's not always happening.
There are agencies out there that have been known to close these cases, and then therefore no one's looking.
Bob Lowry is vice president of the National Center's Missing Children's Division. We can do better at this, can't we?
I think the answer to that is yes, we can do better.
Brittany Hill is part of that effort.
But yeah, I walked like 9 miles in one day.
We followed her on foot in Boston,
My name is Brittany. I'm actually an outreach worker with Bridge Over Troubled Waters.
trying to find kids at risk.
I can actually just pass a card to you. You don't have to give me any information. We can at least get you hooked up with a counselor to do an intake.
We witnessed one breakthrough on this day when a homeless teen asked for help.
It's great. That's what we want out here.
Well, there's a chance he'll have somewhere to stay tonight because of you.
Yeah.
Joanna says she's been living on the street too ever since the day the state closed her case.
And I just broke down and just left, and been homeless for the last 11 months.
Now an adult, no longer missing, but still feeling forgotten.
Looking back on the situations, it really kills me.
Now, in the weeks since we met Joanna, Bridge Over Troubled Waters told us it was working to help her find housing, but at last check, she is still looking.
Eric, this seems to be such a big problem. What is the state doing about it?
Vanessa, I can tell you, we first contacted DCF about this in August of last year. Now, they declined our latest request for an interview to sit down and talk to the commissioner, but in a statement, DCF said it works with law enforcement and families to try to find missing kids. The agency insists it can reopen the case of any foster child even after they turned 18, but we found that just wasn't the case with Joanna.
Hopefully this brings some change. Great reporting, Eric.
Okay. Now think about this. Okay. Look at the number up here. You see 61,000, and you know this is an old video, and this number probably way more. Every child that's in foster care, that foster care system is getting taxpayer dollar to take care of them children on a consistent basis. So when the child is missing, where's that money? Where's that money being used? There needs to be an audit. There needs to be accountability. There needs to be laws made. There needs to be something that makes these state-ran agencies accountable and some kind of punishment when children go missing. But there's nothing. But yet, they, more times than often, they take the children out of families. They won't let you, say for instance, this is me personally. I had my brother, he died, and my nephew and their mama died. They wouldn't let me get the children. They wouldn't let, they bypassed me. I'm the uncle. I know more of how my brother wants them raised. They bypassed me and sent them somewhere else. These devils, boy, I tell you. I'm not going to feel sorry when people start dropping dead for their wickedness. I'm not. And if you want to survive and you want to live longer, I suggest you get away from wicked action and wicked people and wicked thoughts that leads to wicked acts and wicked people. In other words, get your mind right. All right. Let's see. I stumbled across this. 20,000 kids disappear from foster care every year. But 20,000 kids go missing from foster care, but Biden wants to worry about giving reparations to immigrants. This is what the government wants. Don't worry about your own people. Worry about the people that worry about other folks. Don't put your own people in housing. Don't give housing to your own people that's out on the street that needs your assistance. After all, their people pay for the taxes. No, don't put them in housing. You go give your money and give it to Afghans or somebody else. Yeah, this is the government. But you see what it is. I just want to show you the hypocrisy. Families separated at border may get up to $250,000 in compensation. What about families separated from foster care? Sloppy Jim Crow Biden. U.S. government. Where is the Department of Injustice? What they doing? What the Department of Justice? They're not balancing. They're not monitoring nothing. They're not doing anything. This whole government is corrupt. What the Department of Justice at? That's distributing justice. These children running around out here getting kicked out. They're missing. No one's looking for them. No one's accountable. But yet somehow, in this twisted white supremacist mind of these devils, you're going to give the money to some immigrants because, let me show y'all why Joe Biden want to give the money to some immigrants. Let me show y'all right quick. I'm going to put this in, I want to seal this in your head. Seal it in your head. I done got rid of it. That's all right. That's all right. Remember the Biden video. Let me type it up here right quick. Let me share my screen again and type it up. Let me see, can I find it right quick? I'm gonna play it for you. Let me play it for you. Hold on. Let me play it for you right quick. I want you to listen to it.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 20...
Now, how is this country doomed because of black folk? Think about that one. That go over a lot of people's head. How is it doomed because of us? What we done but exist? I'm going to tell you something that the school ain't going to make you privy to. The natives that they took this land from were black folk. I've done videos on
this. This country is doomed.
Play it back for y'all.
It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
Now, if there's a larger population, they are a larger population than we are. Why are you putting them over here and giving them resources then? That's a lie. People, you know. But all right, I just want y'all to focus in on that. Every time you see that, let me share this screen one more time. Let me share this screen. I want y'all to think about this. Why it come together for you. They're giving them money. They're giving them loans where they can get businesses. They're doing all this and that. People that broke the law. You wouldn't pull that mess in China. Let's just say China, the Chinese had a law saying don't enter their country illegally. You wouldn't pull that mess in China, but you'll try it over here. And right now, what Biden is doing is ringing the dinner bell. He said, come on, illegal. We will reward you for breaking the law. You can get up to $1 million if you just come over here illegally and break the law. Some of these people were sending their children across the border purposely by themselves. Just look it up. They sending their children across the border alone. And I'm going to tell you, you immigrants that's doing that, I want y'all to think about this. You got organ harvesting out here. You got sex trafficking out here. You got missing children out here that ain't nobody looking for. You might want to rethink that. Just because you see America on TV one way doesn't mean that's how it is. Just like you watch a movie and you think somebody playing a particular character in that movie, that may not be how they are in real life. All right? Let me get on out of here. Let me get my work out of here. I'm getting angry. I had to focus to keep from going off. This stuff, the Bible says oppression drives a wise man mad. The Bible also says that we was going to be angry. This is the Bible. But yet somehow our enemies expect us to just sit back and stay on the floor and keep getting trampled on. That's all right. Y'all gonna wake up. Y'all take care.